Alright folks, we're going to start today by programming your very first program using our microbit and using the MakeCode software. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to makecode.microbit.org, which is the website that will bring you here to this, what you see on my screen. And then what you want to make sure you do is click on New Project and New Project to start off your new screen. And what we want to make sure we do right away is we want to make sure we name our project. So for this first one, we're going to call it Hello. And the reason why we're doing a Hello World is because typically a computer scientist, the first program they learn is how to program Hello World. For this program, we're going to use the forever loop, and then we're going to click on Basic and grab the show string block. And we're going to put this show string block inside of the forever loop. Notice when I get close to the forever loop, it opens and there's a little yellow outline that will pop up. Once you see that, go ahead and let go, and you should hear a little click, which means your code or that block of code is inside the loop successfully. If you leave the block of code out here, notice how it's kind of grayed out, and that means this block of code will not run because it's not connected to anything. So you need to make sure it's put inside of the forever loop. Now if you notice over here on your digital microbit, the word hello is scrolling across the screen. Now, yes, we titled ours hello, but we want to have it say hello world. So over here in this little speech bubble on the show string block, go ahead and click on that, double click actually. Clicking once will highlight it in gray, double clicking will allow your cursor to pop up, and instead of it saying just hello, make sure it says hello world. And then as soon as I click outside of that box, you'll notice that my microbit will start scrolling across hello world instead of just hello. So there you have successfully programmed your first program using your microbit. Another thing I want to point out to you real quick before we move on to the next one is notice how up here this block or this bubble of blocks is highlighted in white. That's because we're in the blocks section of MakeCode. But just to the right of that, you see it says JavaScript. If we go ahead and click on the JavaScript side, it takes us over and we can see the text-based language of Java. And you can actually program on this side as well. Now this might look a little confusing to you at first, but just know that if you are a student who is used to using blocks a lot and really kind of understand this side of things and maybe perhaps become or might be kind of bored with programming blocks all the time, feel free to challenge yourself and pop over on the JavaScript side and program on this side. But know that you can always pop back to the block side if you get stuck or if you get lost to kind of figure out where you are to get your bearings, and then come back to the JavaScript side and then continue programming from there. One thing about the JavaScript side, it might look confusing to you, but if you take your mouse and you hover over certain parts of the code, it will pop up and tell you what that part of the code is doing. So like the show string section here, for example, says string fits on the screen, and IE is one letter, does not scroll. And then what's in parentheses here, or quotations here, is what it will scroll across the screen, hello world. And we could easily change that from saying hello world to go ahead and say, I'll put my first name in there. So we'll say hello Greg. And as soon as I click off that, my microbit will start scrolling hello Greg as opposed to hello world. So as you see, it just said Greg there. I can pop on the block side now, and you will see that it has changed my code from hello world to hello Greg on this side as well. So it's really kind of a great feature to MakeCode in the sense of you can program on the block side, but if you're ready to challenge yourself and kind of ready for that next step, you can go start programming in the JavaScript side and challenge yourself that way. But if you happen to get stuck on the JavaScript side, you can easily pop back to blocks and kind of figure out your mistakes and move on from there. Okay? Thank you for joining me for this program, and we'll see you soon.